Is Democratic Congressman Raul Grijalva, a member of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Sir, it's good to have you here, and I want to leave off there with exactly the conversation on Marco Rubio that we heard Chuck Todd mention there. He does seem to play an pivotal and very important role in the Immigration 8 formation. The one statement from Rubio when he went on to say, "We have made substantial progress, and this process cannot be rushed or done in secret." Take a listen to what Chuck Todd had this to say on Morning Joe.
He's not the linchpin to getting it passed in the Senate. They can find 60 votes. But Marco Rubio is how you get to 75 votes. And once you get to 75 votes in the Senate, that's how you get it passed in the House. And how are you going to get an immigration bill that has a path to citizenship passed in the House? 75 votes in the Senate.
Congressman, how do you interpret Senator Rubio's remarks?
Well, well, obviously, a level of concern. He's been in this process from the beginning. Early on, he was initiating his own comprehensive reform package, then joined the other senators in that in a bipartisan effort. And there has been, some expectation that come next week that we will have a rollout. We'll have a piece of legislation and concepts that we can go forward with. Hearings will start in judiciary, and the process, regular order, will begin in the Senate. I think that's very key. The backtracking and maybe cold feet on the part of Senator Rubio is of concern to me. It's a concern to advocates. He is pivotal, and if he withdraws support or starts talking about piecemeal or slowing it down, then the fight, I think, then the whole struggle is going to intensify.
Congressman, it seems to be that the encouragement or the momentum is based on the heels that the business and labor side of things, that there's been a deal reached for that pivot point, as we find out that there has been this agreement where visas could be created, this program beginning April 1st, 2015, 20,000 to 200,000 visas will be available. After 1 year, workers could petition for permanent status. I mean, that is a big development moving forward, but is the progress really conditional on border security and where that falls into a deal?
Yeah, I understand, Thomas, that border security and at the urging of senators from my state, McCain and Flake, who I'm are very appreciative that they're part of this process. Border enforcement is going to be part of the equation, and I understand the political necessity for a compromise. I don't understand the reality of it in terms of, do we really need to do that? What are going to be the benchmarks? What's going to be the role of this advisory commission or in the process? Those are still things that we need to look at in the legislation. But the fact that enforcement is going to be a component of it, I think many of us realized that early on when the 8 started to meet, that was going to be a component.
Sir, real quickly though, Politico has a headline saying House group nears immigration deal. In comparison, and when we talk about this, obviously we're still out of the recess by a week, but is this more threading of a needle? I mean, is the head of the needle even smaller from the House side of things than we would see from the Senate side?
Oh, absolutely. I think the resistance in the House is going to be more intense. The committees of jurisdiction, the opposition is going to be more intense. And quite frankly, the pathway issue, which is the fine print that is still going to be a major point of debate. You can see a House bill where it's going to be more onerous, more expensive, more length of time, and to some extent, in my opinion, more punitive. The House version will not be something that many of us feel comfortable talking about and saying this is something we support. We see the Senate as the framework. We see that as a driver, and I hope it stays that way.
Congressman Raul Grijalva, sir, thanks for making time for me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.